Hello, my name is Pickles and today I am going back in time to a Marvin Gaye hahahaha concert. I will make my way to my taco truck time machine and proceed to jam my 300-mile-long penis into the ignition like a 1.21 gigawatts Smarty. Let's go back to the fucking future. Flux capacitor fluxing. I will find myself in 1970s Detroit, and as you would expect, before I get into the venue there will be an enormous fucking line. But not just any normal enormous fucking line full of racial stereotypes, but an enormous fucking line of nothing but 7-layer triple-decker chocolate chip cookie Oreo fudge cake niggers stretching out for miles on end. Assuming that most of the niggers here are horny, and fresh off the cusp of the civil rights movement, meaning none of that nigger talk, I will get so horny at the thought of getting it on with Marvin Gaye hahahaha. I will proceed to masturbate like I've been really trying, baby. I need that sexual healing. Peg, that lost well. And one of the niggers, who's oddly well dressed, will say that ain't swallowing. I will say, oh, you want a refreshing cool one? And he will say, bitch, I've already had to swore. I've already swore. I've already had to cold ones, to which I will say, well, who is driving you home? And he will of course get pissed off and say, look around, you dumb swore. Do you swore? Do you see any swore? Do you see anybody with me? And I myself will then rip the nigger's pants off and proceed to rape his drunk ass like get a designated driver, you sick fuck. Wait, I'm Group Pickles. When have I ever been concerned about public safety? I guess even sick fucks like me can have a heart. What the fuck? You got drunk off a Budweiser? Drink a fucking real beer like Zipline, you dumbass. I drink alone with nobody else. Then I'll drink my own special brew. Oh, I forgot. There's also a shot of just to go with that cold one. Peg, that last swore. I will then make my way to the ticket booth and the lady will say, can I help you, sir? And I will say yes, I'd love to see Marvin Gaye hahahaha. And she will name a reasonable price for the ticket and I will of course reply, I'll pay you with $6. Wait, that's it? Holy shit, that's a reasonable price, if I've ever seen one. I will instead pull out my wallet and attempt to pay her with money from the future, and she will say, what the fuck is this shit, you clown? And I will say, am I a funny clown? And she will say no, and then some nigger behind me will say, I wish there was a clown. Then we could feed him peanuts and his nigger friend will say, that's elephants, you dumbass. I will then say, holy shit, did we just create a time paradox? And God will say, no, the space-time continuum is very much intact, carry on with your exchange. The ticket lady will be confused and say, look, you dumbass clown, what are you thinking paying me in counterfeit bills? And I will say, oh, my mistake, allow me to get the proper money. And she will say, that's better. Now wait, stop, don't do that, please. Thank you for wasting our time. Drew dollars are just as good, if not more valuable than US dollars. Peg, that loss deserved. Then I will proceed into the venue and take a seat in the very front row. Some white ass hippie will say, get the fuck out of my seat, and I will say, no, there's only room for one white person in this arena, and it ain't gonna be you, it's gonna be me. He will then say, make love not and after grabbing his crotch I will then throw him outside of the arena, and since this is an indoor venue, he will create a hole in the ceiling, which will fix the problem with the air conditioning in the venue. It's at this point that Marvin Gaye will finally step out on stage. All the nigger bitches will start swooning, while all the nigger men are screaming like he was some civil rights leader. I will hear the music cue and Marvin Gaye will start singing Let's Get It On, and that will be my cue to begin the swell show. When he gets to the chorus I will climb up on stage and the music will stop and Marvin will say, what the fuck is going on here? And I will grab another microphone and say, you said let's get it on, and your last name is Gaye. I myself happen to be gay, so how about you drop your pants and let's get it on in front of thousands of people? And he will say, okay, first, that's disgusting, and secondly, I have a wife, thank you very much. I will say, look, it's gay sex, I don't think she'll mind if her husband likes white meat. The audience will gasp in horror and Marvin will say, okay, that's it. Get the fuck off my stage, cracker, or I'm going to call security on your ass. And I will say, look, I know you are secretly gay, and your denial of being gay is only making me hornier, so I implore you to please consent, and that we get it on right now, or else I'm the only one who will be getting it on with you. And I was a lonely man in the 70s. He will of course be confused and try to figure out the context of me being lonely in the 70s, and it's at this point I will proceed to drop Marvin Gaye out of Gaye's pants and rape his black ass like you may be a prolific singer, but most people only know you for one song. Granted, it's a great porn song, but that sucks as people only know you for the one song. She's so phony you already know. If I'm lucky, this will alter history and keep you alive through the 80s and save the music industry one artist at a time. At this point some security guards will come rushing in, and I will pull them down to the stage floor and turn this into a massive gay orgy. You big sausage. But no sausage present here is bigger and meatier than mine. Munchy 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 nom 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 nom. Eat a dick, literally. And now for the encore. Peg, that lost swallow. After committing this act of debauchery I will proceed to the nearest hotel, where I will wait the next day to hear about the news of my crimes. When the next day comes, I too shall come to the next day like beg. That was a swell wake-up call. I will then open the newspaper only to discover that Marvin Gaye has decided to quit music and has chosen the worst career path ever, and that is to become a disc jockey for a local radio station, and I will say no. Thinking quickly, I will get back to my taco truck to return to the exact moment which I had gay sex with him and start pounding away like don't mess with the future. You have to understand the future. The time paradox. I will then crash land into the stage the moment I climb up on stage to rape Marvin Gaye and step out and say, Mr. Gaye, I have come from the future to warn you not to let this man rape you, lest you wish to become a fucking disc jockey. My past self will say, get the fuck out of here, future Drew. I'm trying to make a fucking group Pickles goes to video here, and I will say to my past self, you don't get it. There's a reason you were lonely in the 70s. It's so you could give birth to Pickles, and then God will show up to say, God damn it, Drew, why don't you just learn it out that in the 80s he's going to get shot by his own father? And it's at this point Marvin Gaye, after hearing us laugh at his last name and God revealing too much about Marvin Gaye, Gaye's future will become so tilted he will proceed to kill himself like stab. And God will say, I've created a time paradox. I better reset the world, and God will of course reset us to mere moments ago, before he ever mentioned a word of this. My past self will say, look, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to rape Marvin Gaye now, so, unless you want to get fucked, I suggest you back the fuck out. Does this create a time paradox? More than likely not. I had to fuck myself to give birth to Your time is up. My time is now. Gotta get back in time. There's no time left for you. Okay, enough song references. And now I will start to yank at your QBs like fire. I bet this hurts you more than it hurts me. And your pain is our pleasure. And now I will impregnate my past self sass like Peg, that lost swallow. At this point, both Marvin and the venue managers will step out of their respective offices and shout in unison, what the fuck is going on here? And I will say, Mr. Gaye said, let's get it on. What do you think I'm doing? And both of the managers will say, sick fucks like you aren't welcome here. And I will say, oh dear, you shouldn't have said that, because now I will show you a true 2-for-1 manager's special definition of a sick fuck. So my past self and I will take turns raping each of the managers like attention Kmart shoppers. Nobody shops there anymore. And Marvin will say, faggot, why don't you just eat a bag of dicks and go home? And I will say, sounds swell. So I will pull a bag of dicks from my ass and eat it like swore. And then continue raping the managers like wait, my stomach doesn't feel good from eating all those dicks. And suddenly I will realize I don't have any arms. Holy shit, this feels so swell. And then I will realize I'm just thrusting nothing into the manager. My past self will pull out a mirror and I will realize that I have finally achieved greatness. I have become that which I am destined to be. I am now literally a giant dick, and God will carry me up to heaven and say, Drew, my chosen one, congratulations, you have achieved nirvana. And I will say, oh boy, what special privileges do I get? And God will say, you get shoved up my ass for fucking up the entire space-time continuum. And I will say, well, that sounds swell, and he will jam me up his ass like Howard. This is fucked up on so many levels. Which makes it even more swell. Drew Pickles makes a great dildo. Let's go balls deep. And then I will be shoved up God's asshole for life. Holy shit, this is the greatest day in the history of my life. I wonder how my past self is doing. God damn it, I've been at this for 300 days. Oh well, I guess the tour is cancelled. And then I will pull Marvin Gaye into the butt fucking, and this will turn into a massive orgy like. Oh yeah, I love that big black cock. Jesus Christ, not that rough. To smoke weed every day. Wait, that's Bob Marley. The wrong nigger. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Fuck, that's Dobie Great. Why can't I remember any other Marvin Gaye songs? Oh wait, I answered that question earlier in the video. Okay, enough of this. Time to end this ridiculousness. Peg, that lost well. At this point I will realize the abandoned taco truck and walk over to it. I will see a giant hole that says rust here to activate the time machine. I will see the taco truck's history and go back to the most recent date, where I will assume my future self's identity. Like time is of the essence. I don't believe in time. Oh, baby. This sounds identity thieving swell. I think I will go to that Marvin Gaye concert and become a dick. Pirates of your ass, please refer to later.